Okay, so we're learning about the king and his kingdom, his will, his reign, and his rule. And now today we consider the people of the kingdom. So to help us do this, I wanted to think about the United Kingdom, one of the last monarchies we have left. Now I know they also have a parliament, etc. And so just go with me for argument's sake, even if this is not how it actually works in the UK. Okay, so we have a king, King Charles at this point in time, and he has his kingdom. And his kingdom is the realm where his reign and rule applies, and where his will applies. And within his realm are his people, the people of his kingdom. And yes, we have criminals and people who don't obey the rules of the kingdom, but the big idea is that the people of the kingdom do the will of the king and enjoy the benefits of his reign and rule. And so in a similar way, we as the church, we are the people of the kingdom. In other words, the church is going to be one of the main places we see the kingdom reign and rule and power of God, both in and for the church, which is our focus today, and also through the church to the world around us, which will be Friday's focus. Now, where I think the metaphor falls apart is because in the case of the UK, there is a boundary, and I guess it is understood that if you live within the boundary, you are a citizen of the kingdom, like it or not. Whereas the church is more like, well, think about a UK citizen who lives in Japan, for example. And sure, they'll be a good, hard-working citizen of Japan, but their true heart is for their true king. And so their true allegiance is not for Japan, but for their own kingdom. And now imagine he or she finds a bunch of like-minded people in Japan, and they just love getting together in Japan, but actually celebrating the kingdom they are committed to. You see, Philippians 3:20 says, but our citizenship is in heaven. 1 Peter 2:11 describes us as foreigners and exiles. And so the people of the church are the people of the king and the people of the kingdom who live in another kingdom, not our own, and yet our primary allegiance is to our true kingdom, so that we can literally be a place in whom and through whom God's power and kingdom reign and rule comes. So today we're going to pray together as life groups for more of God's power in our church, more of God's kingdom coming in our church, because this is exactly what we see in the New Testament, where the fruit of what God was doing was so much greater than a bunch of gifted church people having a cool time together. Rather, it looked like God's presence, God's kingdom power at work in and through his church. And let me tell you, this is my heart cry. But if the church is not just me or this vague concept called the church, but rather it is you, it is all those who are committed to Christ and part of this local church. That means we are praying for more of God's power and kingdom and reign in and through you and your families and our life groups and our ministries and our various meetings and our lives. And now maybe you're not part of a life group. I either encourage you to join one for tonight, and you can find a list of our life groups here on our website. Just follow the links there. Or you can gather some friends and family together and use this prayer and reflection guide to help your time of prayer. But even if you aren't able to connect with anyone else for whatever reason, please still join in with us in prayer for more of God's kingdom reign and rule to come at Riverside as it is in heaven.